Well, guys, it was sort of appropriate, but not entirely planned, that we gave a little preamble last week about what the fuck Podiots is, because we've been invited to join and have joined the Yogscast Pickaxe Network.
Hey, look at that. We're in the upper echelon now.
Yeah, as you say, it wasn't planned. Just by chance, you were like, we've not done a sort of a if you're new here for a while. And then we had a little clip posted onto their not YouTube channel, their Twitter account, which is very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of promotion. Look at us, all over the Twitter sphere.
I feel really good about the fact that this being sort of episode 2 of us being on the Pickaxe Network, and in theory, it may be feeling a bit more professional and a bit more high and mighty. I'm in like the echoiest room ever. It's the same room I normally record in, but we're moving house and all of the furniture has been removed. So you'll have to bear with me this week. I'm sorry, everyone, but
you sound okay on Discord.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah. Well, we'll see. If there's a bit of reverb in the edit when the podcast comes out, then Discord might be doing some good work for you, Ben. I don't know.
Maybe it's filtering out. The echo is your clown horn.
Yes, exactly.
Filtering it out.
That was very surreal listening back to that and hearing every single horn, and we're going, no, didn't hear that.
Nothing.
I wonder how many potential new listeners tuned in and got 10 seconds in and went, wow, okay, not this then.
Not for me.
Oh, God. Yeah, that's a good point. Despite the fact we introduced who we were, we really introduced who we were in the cold open, didn't we?
Yeah.
2 minutes of clown horn.
It's just like Vidiots all over again, really. It's a new embodiment of that squeaky hammer.
Yeah.
Hey, look, we're open to a new audience now, and there's got to be at least a percentage of people who are really into obnoxious clown horn honks, Mm-hmm. And we've got them. They found us.
Yeah,
reeled them in.
Yeah, it's a litmus test. If you can get through that, then you're in. Welcome, baby.
Lucky us. Mikey, I don't suppose you have any insight to lend about just what the Pickaxe Network is and the kind of people who are on it.
Oh, of course I can. Welcome to the boardroom, gentlemen. Here's the pitch. So Pickaxe, essentially, it operates just like the Yogscast Network does on YouTube. It's a support system. It provides a lot of services, basically makes our lives a lot easier, takes care of a lot of the boring behind-the-scenes stuff, and gives us opportunities we otherwise wouldn't have, mostly in regards to getting adverts in the podcast at long last. Thank you. There's a whole host of nice podcasts on there. You got Triforce, High Rollers, Sounds Peculiar Portions. Basically, there's a whole host of really good shows on there. And now we join the ranks, and this also opens up the opportunity for cross collaboration. Getting people on here potentially. We've never had a guest before, so maybe that will happen.
We have had guests before,
have we? Oh my God, we have Cultaholic.
We had Cultaholic.
Yeah, we did the Cultaholic that time, but that was it.
Oh, sorry, Cultaholic.
We've never had any of our Yogscast friends on. So
there you go. There you go.
Well, the thing is, though, if we get other guests on, legally, Peter and I have to go and work with them at the end of the year.
Yeah, that's how it works.
No, we have to go be their employees.
Well, you heard it first. Guests coming, apparently.
Maybe. We'll see.
I'll give the Snappies manager a call and see if he wants to shout at us on a podcast.
Oh my God. Okay, well, let's roll the music because we need to talk about these Snappies.
Yeah, that's a whole can of square worms.
Bewildered Snappies manager in Bristol. Okay, let's go. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Podiots, the official Vidiots podcast. It's a conversational podcast where we take some questions from you at home and obey the law of the 3 us, where everybody brings
a thing along to talk about.
I'm Ben.
I'm Peter.
And I'm a very disgruntled manager of a Bristol Snappies franchise.
Oh, no.
Mikey, can you tell us a bit more about your Snappies franchise, please?
Yeah, I mean, business is going well. We've had an influx of recent reviews I don't quite understand. I don't know if we're attracting a new audience. I mean, I'm grateful for the business, but...
But is business actually up, though, or are you just getting more reviews?
Well, I mean, you can't leave a review without buying a pizza. That'd be ludicrous. Who would leave a review on a Google Maps place without never actually going to the place? That's unspeakable. No, yeah, the other day, I had one the other day from John. Place is great, though the name has changed recently. I'm pretty sure they got absorbed by the Meat Facery company. I don't know where these allegations are coming from. We've never been associated with the Meat Face Company, and I let this person know in my response of just 4 question marks. I'm hoping answers on a postcard, please. And another one from Gav. Made a great friend in the ball pit. I mean, we don't have a ball pit. I think they might have left this for the wrong place. And had the best bean time at Snap Ben's to Mikey Pizza. I mean, they were nice and pleasant. So to that one, I just said, "Hey, Gav, cheers." That's my case.
Thanks, Gav. That's not quite the name, but cheers.
Close enough. The other guy didn't even think it was. He thought the name had changed for some reason.
And what's a meat facery is my question.
What is that? Huh? 4 question marks. Huh?
Got one last one from Robert. I think I saw the neighbour's cat from Dundee Bungalow having a Podiotroni pizza last week. We don't even have that on our menu. I just assume this is all the new students coming to the city and getting quite drunk and just not understanding what they're typing.
Did you reply to that one?
No, I let that one be. I was too bewildered by that one.
Fair enough.
Speaking of
we
bewilderment,
do, of course.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, just for those who aren't clued up on this amazing bit of role play, Mikey, that Mikey just did for us there. Mm-hmm. This has actually happened. So someone actually, or was it? Did we change that one, or did someone else do it? I don't know.
I think
someone
I did
else.
that one.
Okay.
Oh, did you?
Oh. Yeah, that one's on me.
We changed the name of Snappy's Tomato Pizza in Bristol to Podiots Presents Snappy's Tomato Pizza, or Snappy's Pizza, I don't know. And Podiot listeners have now been leaving reviews on Google Maps, and the owner of the outlet has been responding to them. Seemingly
God, no, this
confused.
is opening up the floodgates for so many more. Why did we talk about it?
Oh, I don't know.
This poor man, he's not going to have any time to make pizzas in between replying.
If you're going to leave a review, at least go and eat a pizza. Go and support the company.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. If you're in Bristol, you have to go to Podiots Presents Snappy Tomato Pizza. You've got to do it. Not just because we all love it. Mikey's vegan and he still goes to Snappy's Tomato Pizza.
Yeah, I get a cheeseless one. It's very sad looking, but I can't ever give up my Snappies.
Yeah, do it. You've got to go. If you're going to leave a review, you've got to go, as Peter said. That's the trade-off.
Yeah,
but also do leave lots of funny reviews. We enjoy them a lot. Yes. Hey, do you like this sort of nonsense? We hope so, because that's kind of what we do here. But if you want to support this nonsense financially, you can go to streamlabs.com/Podiots donations and donate £3 or more to get a shout out at the beginning and the end of the show. You get to leave a funny name. You join the Pod Squad. It's all very appreciated, and we love you a lot. We've got the Pod Squad for this week here, which was very frustrating because the way we do our Pod Squad normally is by copying the information into Excel, but the website's changed, and so it doesn't do that anymore. But we've got the list here nonetheless. Mikey, have you got the first? I got the names right in front of me.
We begin with Mr. Blobby becomes a burglar. Mr. Blobby gets missold PPI. Very nice. Weddy Febber Bix Lutz, Stephen Skodes, Bonald Scrumps Cum Trumpet, Lord Brotovic at work, Katie Kin Solo, Michael Jugson, I'm in trouble tubs. So I do that better. I'm in trouble tubs.
That wasn't right either.
That was
What is
Shaggy
it?
Doo, wasn't it?
Jinky.
Shaggy Rogers.
Wait, how's it said?
I'm in trouble tubs.
Wow, I completely missed that. Yeah, well, that's why you get professional. David Dickinson's meal deal, who I believe was very generous, and they say, not a quote-unquote hashtag ad, but my new hand soap smells like Twister Ice lollies. It's Carex Tropical Twist, and the sweet clean and lasting freshness it provides reminds me of you boys. All my love. Always XOX. Thanks, David Dickinson.
Thank you, David.
Worst game selection is a lie. Sorry, Brett, for breaking hearts.
Sorry about that.
Dick Down by Dom Inda Bungholo. Bungholo. Oh, sorry, these are. I'm struggling today. There we go. That's
because they've got red squiggly lines under them because Word doesn't know what they are. That's the problem.
Yeah, these aren't real words. How am I supposed to read these?
And you know what? I'm about to say it, right? The bar's pretty low in terms of being tasteful when it comes to submitting
Oh my goodness.
Podiots names, Streamlabs names, but maybe just avoid like historical atrocities. That's all I'm going to say. You know?
We have had to refund one pod squad this week.
Yeah, there is actually a line. It may not have been apparent over the past year or two, but there probably
you found
is a
it.
line. Yeah, we found the line.
It. Well done.
Congratulations. You did a name that was too bad to read.
See me after class.
Yeah. The list continues. Tiny Tory Knacker Cracker. Worst games selection is a lie. Oh no.
Yeah.
Caroline, it's Dr. Chegwin. Your husband was admitted to hospital after overdosing. He will need to committed to Anne. Asylum for his own safety. Come down to hospital to sign release. Form you're his power of attorney. Oh, God. What? Okay, thank you for all of those. Mr. Macker, the very generous 2 pints of milk, who says, hey guys, thanks for reading out my DBP career question a few weeks back. I'm famous. Started donating when I can. Thanks for all the laughs. I feel a Vidiots renaissance on the horizon. Smiley face. And also from my list is Peter's Diet Beppis Penis and Moogle 520805.
I have got the final chunk here. We've got Prince Beefcakes, Beef McQueef, Buff McWoof, Finn Tristram, Caroline sucked off Mr. Blobby, Mr. Blobby's Gobby Knob Job, Glorious Minotaur Vulva, Big Titty Jesus 42, Podiots took my virginity, Caroline help I shat the bed, Silica repels bed bugs, found Caroline on OnlyFans, 6 stout men bearing an organ, Janet Wicks shags at Wicks, and your cunting daughter.
That's fine. That's fine.
That's fine. And that's Pod Squad for this week. Thank you so much. Remember, streamlabs.com/Podiots. Donations £3 or more to get a shout out at the beginning and the end of the show. Avoid wartime atrocities. Thank you.
Thank you.
What's your favourite Pod Squad-y this week, guys?
Buff McQuiff.
I was going to say, Buff McQuiff took me by surprise.
It only works coming after Beef McQueef, though.
Yeah.
Yes. Buff McQuiff.
I like Mr. Blobby getting missile PPI. That tickled me.
That is a good one. That's also a good one. Yeah, great. Okay, well, thank you, everyone. Mikey, are you question boy this week?
No, I'm not.
It's Peter, your question boy this week.
I am, yes. I let you ask that question. I let Mikey answer. I sat in silence as it all
polite.
took place. So I've got some questions here. Would you like a question now?
Yes, please.
This is from Niall Gray at Lord of the Grey on Twitter, who says, what's the funniest and most passive-aggressive way you've ever annoyed someone, either for petty reasons or just for fun? Upside down smiley face. Thank you, Niall. Passive-aggressive way.
What, is this passive? No, yeah, it's not actually aggressive. It's more passive. So in uni, I used to, my housemate used to play League of Legends like 8 hours a day. And he'd usually get quite heated and shout a lot during it, and it got quite a lot. And so every once in a while, as a treat, I'd unplug the router that was in my room in the middle of some of his games. And he'd come through like, "Oh, is the internet not working?" Like, yeah, no, it's gone down. Sorry, mate. Leo, if you're listening, I'm so sorry. You were being very loud.
So that's why you did it, because he was being loud.
Yes, it was just I didn't want to have a confrontation and say, "Hey, Leo, it's me, your friend who you go to uni with. I can't. You're being quite loud right now. Could you keep it down a bit?" I couldn't do that. So instead, I went nuclear and unplugged the internet. That was a special treat, though. If I do that too often, that'd be pretty obvious what's happening. So, once every couple of weeks at most, maybe.
I remember this isn't something I used to do repeatedly. I only did it the once. When I was a student at uni, in the first year in halls, I lived with a whole bunch of arseholes. Well, they weren't all arseholes, but there were more arseholes than... They were either arseholes or literally kept themselves to themselves and never left their bedroom. That was kind of the two types of people I was living with. And there was one guy who lived across the corridor from me who was the king of arseholes, and I think he's probably the worst person I've still ever met in my life in person.
Oh, wow.
And he, as amongst many other things, did the classic thing of he would just never ever wash anything up ever. He'd come from a privileged background, which doesn't immediately and inherently make you an arsehole, but can quite often do so. And I believe he'd had staff at his house, and he just did not even know how or why or when to wash or clean anything. So he would just pile loads and loads of crockery in the sink, which then meant, of course, that nobody else could wash up because there would be a big... So we had the... For international listeners... there was a big plastic washing up tub in the sink. It's a thing that British people do for some reason.
How do they do that?
I don't know. Instead of just putting the plug in the sink, I think it's so you can then take the tub out and wash the tub, so you're not clean. Like, sinks probably get quite dirty.
I was going to say not waste water, but yeah, that's what a plug is for. So I don't really.
Yeah. So we had a big plastic washing up tub in the sink, and it would be absolutely full of stuff. And usually I would either just take all this stuff out and leave it on the side or something if I wanted to wash my things. But one time I got really, really sick of it. So what I did, I knew, because he had a pretty regular schedule, I knew he would be back pretty soon, because it was a day where I used to hear him come back when I had a break at 11 o'clock or something. And I went into the kitchen at 10:30 to have some breakfast, and all the stuff was in the tub. So I was like, I know what I'm going to do. And I took the tub out of the sink and I placed it in front of his door in the corridor, so that he had to step over a tub of dirty crockery to get into his room.
That's good.
Nice. Isn't it? Isn't that really petty? And he didn't know necessarily who'd done it either. He probably could have guessed it was me, but he wouldn't have known for sure. So it wasn't even, it was an anonymous, cowardly move. But
the right one, I think.
Yeah.
Did it fix things?
He did actually then sometimes wash up for a brief period, and it didn't last, but I do think as a result he bucked his ideas up slightly.
Good.
And briefly.
It's better than nothing. Just the monthly tub outside the door trick. It'll keep him on. God, what word am I trying to say here? On. It'll keep him going. On.
Yeah.
I know you said on fleek, but that's definitely not the right thing. I don't even know what that means.
What is it?
It will keep
eyebrows
him on
go on fleek, don't they?
Yeah.
Maybe?
Oh dear. Ben, please distract from my mess up. What's your petty thing?
I've definitely done really petty stuff before, but I can't remember any of it because I think, as I imagine was the case when both of you did your petty things, the adrenaline was flowing.
Yeah.
You were really pissed off, and you probably felt at least a little bit bad about what you'd done afterwards. Like, you may well have done the right thing and not done anything wrong, but you probably thought, I should have been the bigger person here and maybe not done that. But in the moment, you were seeing red, and that's how you acted. And I know I've been there before, but I think I've probably, to an extent, maybe blocked some of those memories from my mind because they weren't good.
Yeah.
But one thing I can remember, which maybe isn't so much petty as it is almost self-preservation, but I've shared rooms before with people who are big-time snorers. Like really big-time snorers. And I've been woken up or been prevented from sleeping by the snoring. So I've deliberately kicked a wall or really made some clank, punched the bed head or whatever. Just made a real racket to either stir them enough so that it's almost like a hard reset on their snoring, or in some cases I have pinched their nose until they breathe out of their mouth.
Oh my God, have you?
Yeah, I have done that. I have done this before.
Wow, that's quite brave. What if they wake up and wow, that's so
what
brave.
would worry me about that.
They never woke up, and I've reached the point now where in my life where I'm very rarely sharing a room with someone else, I would do that too, if you know what I mean. It was sort of like the realm of sleepovers, kind of, that would happen.
It's a combination of closing someone's airways and then also saying they never woke up. It's quite a quite a
that's the
double
thing,
whammy.
Michael. They always wake up. If your nose is blocked, you will breathe out of if your mouth is closed, you will start breathing out of your mouth. The problem is when the mouth is open and the snoring persists. Then there's a problem. I don't know what you do apart from wake them up at that point. So yeah, there's my one.
That's
You're right.
Attempted murder.
That's pretty petty. Attempted murder. No, you're right. That I think. I know there are things that I've done that would be better answers, but I do think you sort of blot those things out. Like you do. I don't look back fondly on any of those things or proudly. Even the one I told, I'm surprised I remember that because it's the kind of thing that I wish I'd sort of blotted out. But yeah, I'm sure there's worse that I've done.
It's how we sleep at night, by blocking out
with
these
Ben's
atrocities.
fingers on our nose.
Yes. Don't you dare fucking snore, I'm coming for you.
Oh, God.
Who would like to do a thing?
I would love to do a thing.
Come on, then. Do it.
I'd love to do a thing. My thing is about the climb that I did last weekend at the time of recording.
Ooh.
Okay.
I went up a mountain.
Well done.
Nice.
Was it called
biggest
Ben?
one.
Oh no, it was.
No, it wasn't, sadly.
If you're in Scotland,
had to
it
go,
would have been.
I was going to say it was the biggest one in Wales, and you had to go immediately for the biggest one in the UK, didn't you, Peter, to make my achievement just feel a little less
I've not
exciting.
been up there, but I'm just saying it could have been. There are lots of Bens in Scotland, not just Ben Nevis. I think.
Are there?
I believe so. Yeah, I think Ben
okay.
means mountain or something. Maybe Nevis does, and I'm wrong. But
Does it? Oh, that's lovely. Well, no, I haven't been up Ben Nevis, which is the tallest mountain in the UK, I believe, citation needed. I went up Snowdon in Wales,
Nice.
and it was an absolute delight, and I thought I would talk about my awkward encounter at the top of Snowdon. So I put my headphones in and pretty much just sort of marched right on up that big green, beautiful bad boy. I didn't... What am I trying to say? I didn't go up the harder path. There were lots of there are a few routes up Snowdon, and I went up I think the easiest one because that's what the party I was with decided would be the one that we all walked up. But there was still some hesitation, to the extent where I did put my headphones in and just storm right up that mountain. And it is something that I would encourage everybody to try because it's not that hard, especially that route. It is a long walk. But people of all shapes and sizes and clearly levels of fitness were at the top. They made it to the top. It's just a case of how many times you need to stop for a little sit down and a break. So it took me about 2 hours and 45 minutes to get from the bottom to the peak. Not the top, but the peak. Because when you get to the peak, or when you get to the top, there's something of a queue to get to the peak to take a photo at the sort of nominated peak, which has a little plaque and stuff like that. Now, when I climbed to the top and started taking a photo, a lady shouted at me and said, "There's a queue," and I looked around, and lo and behold, there was a huge queue up to the peak that I just did not see. And I don't know why I didn't see it. I just didn't see it. I was sort of scrambling up the side of this thing, which, as it turns out, was the way people were coming down after queuing up to the top. And I was just looking at my feet, and I wasn't looking at the queue. Went to take a photo, and this lady shouted at me and said, "Hey, you know there's a queue?" And in that exact moment, speaking of sort of moments of pettiness where you see red and you'd rather block these memories out, and I haven't yet done it.
And you're about to immortalize it in a podcast episode. Yeah,
yes,
go on.
Yeah, I went into sort of a fight or flight mode because in that exact moment, I felt like I was in trouble at school, and I retorted in a very childish way that I wasn't proud of. Immediately afterwards, I wasn't proud of. I felt really stupid. I said, "There's a queue." I said, "It's a hill."
That's what I was thinking.
Just climb up it," is what I said.
Oh God!
as I turned to then sort of walk back down
to join
where
the
I'd
queue.
come
To a chorus of tuts as you walk
past all of these people, and I had to sit and have like a little sulk for a bit because I felt really embarrassed and kind of humiliated. And when I looked at that photo that I'd taken at the top, it was sort of I don't usually like taking selfies, but I thought, well, I'll do it because, you know, it's the top of Snowdon. And in the background, you can see just like 2 people in this queue just staring at me, like really cross. And I had to delete it. I just can't have it on my phone.
It's like tainted.
Yeah,
Oh,
because I know what I did. I know what I did. So that was like really humiliating, and I felt very embarrassed and really bad about it. But in that moment where I was challenged, I decided to fight this woman, and I don't know why I did. But yeah, it kind of fucked up the day, kind of fucked up the whole day for me.
Yeah, so then you
And I
get to
had
think
to-
about that the entire long walk back down the mountain.
Yeah, it was really embarrassing.
I
felt
admire
very
you
embarrassed.
staying up there and getting a picture. If that were me, I would have just like gone straight back down the mountain, not queued up,
Yeah.
and just left.
Left Wales.
I then went back down to the top, not the peak, and I waited for everybody else to arrive, and then was on top of that mountain for like an hour and a half, which is when I got very sunburned on my face. So in that time, I managed to cool down, calm down, and sort of have a bit of a moan and a cry to the other people in the party about, wow, what an idiot I was. And then I felt a bit better because I sort of just was stewing on it in my own head. But yeah, if you climb Snowdon, make sure you join the queue for the peak because otherwise, Jesus Christ, something just fell off my wall.
They're all shocked at its depravity. There's some travel tips for you. Queue at the top of the mountain.
It was the Vidiots title belt.
Oh,
God.
no.
I didn't
Just
hear it
fell
like
off
a
the
heavy.
wall.
I thought you meant maybe a poster or something. I didn't hear the sound. It must have been discorded
God.
out.
I hope that comes through on my recording. The Vidiots as if my embarrassment couldn't go any greater. The Vidiots championship belt just fell off the wall and onto my desk. So
Wow.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, yeah, that's my thing. If you're going up Snowdon, you can do it and you should try it, but also don't be an asshole at the top like I was. And if you are, maybe keep your composure and don't be such a twat.
Okay. Good advice.
Yeah, thank you, Ben. I hope this helps heal this wound, and you can move on from it and forget about it.
Me too. I've just got loads of adrenaline now from this fucking belt falling off the wall.
Probably just from reliving that story as well.
Yeah.
I've got a question here from Paul at Zaremba16. And Paul says, do you guys have anything you do for good luck? Or do you avoid anything because you believe it is bad luck? My wife, as of next week, will not pick up any coin if it is face down. We will never financially recover from it. K, love you, bye. I assume by that he means that the lady will be his wife as of next week, not that his current wife will, as of next week, not pick up any coin if it's face down. But you never know.
I'm not a massively superstitious. I mean, it's not really superstition, but I'm a mess. Because I was going to say, I like to play things quite safe most of the time, but I know I'm actually like, when I'm in total control, I can be a complete loon and just destroy myself in so many ways, like skateboarding. And I'm not a safe cyclist. I'm not a safe skateboarder. But day-to-day life, I try to be pretty level-headed. God, no, there's nothing. Let me think. I opened my mouth hoping something would come and nothing did. And now here I am prattling
Well,
on.
I refuse. There are a few things that I do that are. I know that there's no logical basis for it. And if someone actually asked me, do you honestly think that if you do or do not do this thing, it's going to bring you bad luck? Then I would say, well, no, obviously not. But I guess it's almost more like upholding a tradition or something. And I just like the idea of doing something the way people have done it for a long time. It's not so much the luck, but like, I will not cheer anyone, as in, toasting, if I've got an empty glass. And that goes back to the idea that I think it's considered bad luck to do that. Whether that's the reason I do it, I don't know if I would say that as such, but things like that. Like I do things that are quote unquote superstitious, but not necessarily because I actually think they're gonna do things like that to me.
It almost feels like an insult to chase someone without something in your drink.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's that too. It's a bit strange.
Yeah.
I don't mind black cats. I don't know if I would mind walking under a ladder. All these things I don't actually think are going to affect my life, and yet some of them, if I can think of any more, I would just say like, oh no, I wouldn't do that. And I don't know why.
I don't really believe in superstitions at all. So I will cheers someone with an empty glass if I've got an empty glass, because for me it's more sort of the gesture of being involved, and because if I just say no to cheersing them, at that point it just feels kind of rude as much as superstitious for not having done it. So I would walk. I've walked under ladders, but I usually avoid them just because it seems a bit unsafe. And
I mean, that's presumably the root of the actual thing is, someone probably would have said that's not a good idea, and it's turned into a superstition.
Some people are funny about walking under scaffolding as well. If there's like a footpath under that, I don't give a shit about that. The superstitions around black cats are very harmful because that means that black cats don't get adopted, and they're just as lovely as regular cats. They are cats. They're cats. The only superstition I suppose that I would remotely adhere to is I don't really like the dark. So sometimes, as I'm walking through the flat and like turning off various lights, I won't just have, for example, a light on in my bedroom and then turn off the light in the kitchen and then have to walk all the way through in the dark. I'll have like lights on between there and the final light. That's not because I think I'm going to be eaten by monsters. It's just because I'm uncomfortable in the dark.
You're the kind of person who, if going upstairs and turns all the lights off downstairs, then like sprints up the stairs.
Sprint up on all fours. No, see, I don't do that.
I do that. It's my favourite. Running up the stairs on all fours is such a treat. It's great.
A treat.
I don't like running up the stairs in the dark, only because if I run, that's when it makes me feel uncomfortable. I can walk up the stairs in the dark. I don't have an issue with. But if I run as though... if I plant that seed in my mind that like, why are you running? Is it because there's a monster? Again, I don't actually think there's a monster, but it's that kind of thing. I've thought of a couple of others that I do. But yeah, I seem to just randomly pick and choose because I don't have issues with ladders or cats. But I would rather not open an umbrella indoors. I would do it if we were shooting something, a clip for triple jump, and it had a prop umbrella. I wouldn't go, oh no, I can't do that. But I would choose not to. And I also just generally don't like to kind of quote unquote tempt fate. Like I don't like to say things out loud about like sort of hypothetical bad things. Like I don't like to talk about. I don't know. I wouldn't like to talk about a family member like having an illness or something, like a fatal condition or something like that. And I know full well that saying those things don't bring it into effect or anything like that. But I just sort of wouldn't do it. And I don't exactly know why, because there's not a belief system there.
Yeah. There's an element of that being in poor taste as well.
Yeah, there's that too. But even if it was just sort of to myself, if I was in an empty room and was for some reason talking to myself about like relatives being unwell, I would feel uncomfortable saying that. But I think sometimes these things are just like ingrained into you, even if you know logically that there's not actually any scientific truth to it. You kind of. There's just a separate part of your brain that's like, yeah, but you still shouldn't though, should you? You still shouldn't. Like, well, why shouldn't I? But you just...
Monkey brain.
Yeah, monkey brain, for sure. Good, well, if that's it, I will ask... I won't ask another question. I will open the floor to Michael Johnson or to me. What would you rather do, Mikey? Go second or third?
Let's do me, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, here we go, sports time. You know, you get it, Ben.
I do get it.
I come with a tale of sports debauchery today, involving alcohol and baseball, America's two favorite pastimes. So this is the story of 10-cent beer night.
Oh my God!
Right.
Yeah, I think you probably already kind of paint a picture here. So, 10-cent beer night was a promotion held by the Cleveland Indians during a game against the Texas Rangers at their stadium on Tuesday, June 4th, 1974. The idea behind the promotion was to attract more fans to the game by offering cups of low-alcohol beer for just 10 cents each. And today's money, that is 55 cents. So, hey, even if it's pretty low percentage, that's a hell of a deal.
Yeah, for any drink, really.
Yeah, God, I'd take, God, yeah, fizzy water at that price, even that would be a treat. And yeah, that's a discount on the regular price of 65 cents or a $3.50 equivalent today. So yeah, that's essentially $3 off a beer, which is pretty good. But there was a limit of 6 beers per purchase, but there was no limit on how many purchases you could make. So you go up, get your 6 beers, drink them, head back out, bam, and then you just repeat that all night long. And I imagine you're going to get pretty wasted by the end of that. For a bit of context, before 10-cent beer night unfolded, the team was in a bit of a precarious position. There'd been a lot of tension in games, and the Indians and the Rangers had been involved in a bench-clearing brawl that had been widely publicised, and the game therefore drew a pretty rowdy crowd to this one. I guess people anticipating more rowdiness and wanted to get in there and punch some poor people. So we get to the game. So six days after the previous game, where there was the brawl, the 10-cent beer night promotion drew in 25,134 fans to Cleveland Stadium. The game was kind of going all right. The Rangers quickly took a 5-1 lead. There's going to be some sport words in this. I don't really know what 5-1 means. I assume, I don't know how scoring works in baseball, but there was a 5-1 lead to the Rangers. Meanwhile, throughout the game, the increasingly inebriated crowd grew more and more unruly. Early in the game, Cleveland's Leron Lee hit a line drive, don't know what that means, into the stomach of Rangers pitcher Fergus Jenkins, after which Jenkins dropped to the ground. Fans in the upper deck of the stadium cheered and then chanted, "Hit him again! Hit him again! Harder! Harder!" Very nice. A woman ran out onto the Indians' on-deck circle, flashed her breasts, and then tried to kiss the umpire, who it says here was not in a kissing mood. And then one inning later, a father and son pair ran onto the outfield and mooned the fans in the bleachers. So a really wholesome family night out already.
Wow.
Although it's not clear why, I think it's clear why. Hundreds of fans had brought firecrackers, which they set off in the stands at random. Quote here, lending the game a war zone ambience that would seem increasingly appropriate. As the game progressed, more fans ran onto the field and caused problems. Ranger first baseman Mike Hargrove was pelted with hot dogs and spit. Tasty.
Oh.
And at one point was nearly struck by an empty gallon jug of Thunderbird. A player was sent off after accidentally catching another player with the cleats, trying to slide to a base. The Rangers' angry response to this call and sorry, oh god, I cut some words out here now. It doesn't make sense, but basically, like, they were pretty pissed off about him getting sent off by that, because it was, he just caught him. It wasn't intentional, but he got sent off, and so the fans were pretty angry. And then they again started throwing objects onto the field. Someone tossed firecrackers into the Rangers' bullpen. An atmosphere made hazy by clouds of exploded gunpowder and marijuana smoke contributed to the unsettling mood. By the 7th inning, families and those fans who remained sober had mostly left the ballpark, so now this was just a stadium full of drunks. The remaining crowd continued to grow drunker. At this point, attendees were going directly to the brewery's truck to get a refill, because there's just so many people going to get drinks that the staff couldn't keep up with the demand or the amount of people, so they just sent them all out into the back of the parking lot, take the bottles to the truck and just fill them there, and then send them on their way, which I don't know. I think at this point, wouldn't you say, maybe we're not going to sell beer anymore, or maybe that'll make it worse. I guess it's you die either way, because you get rid of the beer, you probably is going to cause a riot anyway. At that point, people want their beer. Now onto the section named The Riot. So that was just the warm-up act. After the Indians had managed to tie the game, a 19-year-old fan ran onto the field and attempted to steal Texas outfielder Jeff Burroughs' cap. Confronting the fan, Burroughs tripped. Thinking that Burroughs had been attacked, Texas manager Billy Martin charged onto the field with his players in his hand and all wielding some bats. A large number of intoxicated fans, some armed with knives, chains, and clubs, fashioned from portions of the stadium seats that they had torn apart, surged onto the field, and the others hurled bottles from the stands. 200 fans surrounded the 25 Rangers, with more coming. So pretty quickly, it just barreled out of control. Realizing that the Rangers' lives might be in danger, Cleveland manager Ken Aspromonte ordered his players to grab bats and help the Rangers, attacking the team's own fans in the process.
Oh my God.
It's a war zone. Rioters began throwing steel-folded chairs, and Cleveland relief pitcher Tom Hilgendorf was hit in the head by one of them. Hargrove, after subduing one rioter in a fist fight, had to fight another on his way back to the Texas dugout. The two teams retreated off the field through the dugouts in groups, with players protecting each other. At this point, they just fled into the clubhouse, locked the doors, and just hid from everyone, leaving several, maybe even a couple of thousand people out there, just like Lord the Pig style, just fucking going nuts. So the crowd pulled up and stole the bases on the field and anything else they could find. Rioters threw a vast array of objects, including cups, rocks, bottles, batteries from radios, hot dogs again, popcorn containers, and folding chairs. Umpire crew chief Chilak, realizing that order would not be restored in a timely fashion, forfeited the game to Texas, which I'm actually quite stunned it took that long. I think the second anyone goes on the field and starts beating people up, it's like, all right, no, we're calling that. This game's not going anywhere. And after this, the rioting continued for 20 more minutes as Joe Tate and Herb Score, that's a good name, Herb Score, that's brilliant.
He was born to be a sportsman.
Or drug dealer, one of the two.
Yes, he was, yeah.
So yeah, the commentators called the riot out live on the radio for everyone at home to hear as well. So they're just kind of giving play-by-plays as it progressed, just like a game. Score mentioned the security guard's inability to handle the crowd. Tate said, "Oh, this is an absolute tragedy." The Cleveland Division of Police finally arrived to restore order, arresting 9 fans. Indians players escorted the Rangers to the team bus. A local sports writer, Dan Coughlin of the Chronicle Telegram, attempted to interview fans but was punched in the face twice.
Excellent.
Cleveland general manager Phil Segui blamed the umpires for losing control of the game. The Sporting News wrote that Segui's perspective might have been different had he been in Chilak's shoes. In the midst of knife-wielding, bottle-throwing, chair-tossing, fist-swinging drunks. American League President Lee MacPhail commented, "There was no question that beer played a part in the riot."
You think?
maybe, but that wasn't the that's the end of that's the end of the whole thing. But that was not the only 10-cent beer night. They did it again. Only a few months later, with even more fans attending this time, 41,000. 10 cents a cup once again, but they did the smart thing. A limit of 2 cups per person for the entire game.
Good.
Per person. See, that's better than per sale.
Yeah. I can't believe that no one thought this is going to end badly, but hey, it's a hell of an image picturing all this going down. My God. That's why you don't mix beer and sports, friends.
What did you say right at the beginning? That it was to try and get more ticket sales? Because they probably managed that at the very least. So.
Hey, yeah, they made headline news after that. So I guess that probably was next time everyone was eager to get in there and see what was going on.
Into the thick of it. Brilliant.
Hey, bring my bag of hot dogs, throw them on the field. Let's have fun, son.
Yeah, bring my spit.
Yeah.
I've been prepping this all week. I haven't talked in a week. My mouth is nothing but spit.
Oh, dear.
There you go.
Amazing. Thank you, Mikey.
Thank you, Michael.
You're welcome.
I've got a question here from John Lee, who says, if you could create your very own crisps, what flavour would they be and what would be their shape? That's at John Lee 421 on Twitter.
Ooh, interesting putting in the shape as well. That does affect the taste.
When I chose this question, I was facetiously, well, maybe not even facetiously, I'm not sure how serious I was, but I was going to suggest petrol flavour, as in the smell of petrol, not what I imagine the taste of petrol might be, is probably horrible. But then I remembered this really weird thing that happened once with some family friends that me and my siblings and my parents used to go and stay with sometimes, and we would have like a lot of alcohol and like nibbles and things. And one time my mum had thought, oh, we need to take some nibbles with us, and we grabbed this bag of like kettle chips or something, like some quite nice, relatively nice brand crisps, and we took them, and they were poured into a bowl, and people started eating them, and there was sort of a kind of an emperor's new clothes, emperor's new suit thing, where like everyone around the room was thinking the same thing, but no one wanted to be the first one to say it. We were like, these crisps taste of like petrol. What? This is weird. And they were I think they were salt and vinegar, but they were out of date. They must have been sitting in the cupboard for a long time. And for some reason, out of date salt and vinegar crisps apparently seem to sort of ferment, or I don't know exactly.
Is it balsamic vinegar or something?
Yeah, it might be something to do with the balsamic vinegar, or maybe they didn't. It did taste. Everyone independently came up with petrol as a thing, but maybe it was actually a kind of a bad kind of vinegar. Like, you know, when wine goes off, it turns to quote unquote vinegar, but it's not the kind of vinegar you would put on your chips. Like maybe it turned from good vinegar to bad vinegar or something. But they tasted like petrol, and it was not good. So
crude oil flavored crisps.
Yeah,
delicious.
Delicious oil spill.
So if I can't have petrol, I'm going to say extinguished matches.
Okay, interesting.
I think that's a
you
really
ever
nice
one
smell.
Of those?
No, never eaten one of those, but I think it's a really good smell. Blown out candles. I mean, it's better when you blow out a match than a candle, but yeah.
Birthday cake smell.
Yeah, birthday cake smell, pretty much. And it would be shaped... maybe each one would be shaped like a tiny birthday cake, and there would be birthday crisps.
Oh,
lovely.
Yeah.
I'm erring on the side of a sweet crisp. I don't know.
Ooh.
I've been thinking,
Interesting.
just like obviously, usually crisps are pretty salty, but if you eradicate that, what kind of canvas is a plain bit of potato? Like, what could you put upon it? And jam donut, maybe like
Oh my God.
you could. The potato might create some kind of analog to the dough, and then little bit of jam dust on it. You have a banger.
I can see that being all right. And I know what you're getting at. The potato just becomes the starchy base.
Yeah. I think. Yeah, I don't think I've ever actually seen any kind of sweet-based crisps on the market ever. And I'd buy those in an instant just to see what they're like. Maybe that it wouldn't ever get a return customer because they're awful, but I think there's intrigue in there. I mean, I guess if I'm going to do donut flavored crisps, they've got to be little donuts as well. Maybe they're like cheese puffs, but not cheesy. Donut puffs. Donut linears.
You can't say.
Sorry. No, my bad. Yeah. I don't. Is that? Oh yeah. No, I think I'm going to stick donut, jam donut. Maybe a whole line. There's lots of flavors of donut. You could do a whole range. Great.
Good. I'd try it.
Ben?
I think I would quite like a spicy crisp, but spicier than the spicy crisps that are currently available, because they're not spicy, really.
It's always a letdown.
Like chili heat wave Doritos, come on. Those taste sweet. So maybe some sort of Nando's hot sauce style flavored crisp.
You get one for each like spice level. Wow.
Yeah. I particularly like the medium Nando's garlic hot sauce. I think that's very good. I have a big old bottle of that in my cupboard that I put on a lot of food, and it's really lovely. And I would have the shape of crisp be like kettle crisps, kettle chips. So like really sort of, I don't know, what would you describe the texture as? There's no uniform shape really. They're sort of round, but they're quite
thin and quite
thin but firm.
Yes, firm.
Yeah,
maybe that's it. Very crunchy, but quite firm.
And they're quite nice when they're a bit brown. Those kettle chips, I think.
Yeah,
they're a bit crispy. They should hopefully all be crispy.
Yes,
they're crisp.
I like the soft ones.
Yeah. I'll tell you what I'd do actually. To get rid of the birthday cake shape. I would have. They're all normal kind of crisps, except they're all folded crisps. Because folded crisps are the best ones.
Oh, the special ones.
Wish crisps, yeah.
Wish crisps. We've had this conversation a long time ago. Until you told me of Wish crisps, I'd never heard them called that, and I'd forgotten until today.
Oh God, a bag of Wish crisps would genuinely like make my year. That's a brilliant. That's a $1 million idea.
Someone
Get
should
that on Dragon's
process
Den.
the folding of crisps.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Here we go.
Lovely. Well, I've got a thing here. Thank you to multiple people who told me to do this. I'd actually already. It was always the plan, but I appreciate it all the same. It is time with the end of the Edinburgh Fringe this year. Having a time of recording, it was only a few days ago that it finished. I have found an article. There are several already. With the best jokes of the Fringe this year. I'm going to tell them my classic, well-delivered style. And at the moment, I can't seem to find any worst jokes of the year, which I have done sometimes in previous years. I don't think I've done it every year. But anyway, we're going to do the best ones and see what we all think. So these are numbered 1 to 10. I don't know which order they are. I don't know if I'm about to read the very best one first or vice versa. But anyway, Masai Graham brings us joke number 1. And he says, I tried to steal spaghetti from the shop, but the female guard saw me and I couldn't get past her.
Rubbish.
Really?
That's rubbish.
That's top 10 material?
It's top 10. It may even be the number 1. I don't know which, as I say, the order of the thing.
That feels like a joke as old as time.
Yeah.
That's like
a new joke.
The fact that he even has to say the female guard just to set up past her just makes it worse as well.
Yeah. It's like getting your uncle who like makes balloon animals in his spare time to come to your party. He's got to put on some entertainment, so he's reading from like a 50-year-old joke book that's all withered and horrible, and that's what he pulls out. That's if you're I'm not one to be judgy about comedy. I'm not a funny man myself, but I could do better than that. My God,
you could.
I'm angry already. This sucks.
Okay, well, I'll give you another one. This is from Mark Simmons, who says, did you know, if you get pregnant in the Amazon, it's next day delivery?
Huh? Oh.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I get it, but I ain't laughing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Number 3 comes from Olaf Falafel, who I believe won best joke in a previous year, possibly last year. I recognise his face. He says, this is a really bad one. It's a bit esoteric. My attempts to combine nitrous oxide and oxo cubes made me a laughing stock.
Oh, that's good. All right, I like that.
Okay.
That's got. Yeah, no, that's creative. I'll take that.
That's all right.
I don't like that one. I get it, but I just think it's a bit out there.
I like that. No, that's good. That's good. I'm giving that one a big thumbs up. That's one of the few ones that's properly got me.
So that's your joke of the year so far, Mikey.
So far, yeah.
Number 4 is from Hannah Fairweather, who says, By my age, my parents had a house and a family. And to be fair to me, so do I. But it is the same house and it is the same family.
Yeah.
I think that's
I
quite
like that
good.
one.
I like
Yeah,
that
that's
one.
good. That's
Yeah,
good.
that's all right. Yeah.
Relatable.
It is. It really is.
This is from Will Mars, number 5, who says, I hate funerals. I'm not a mourning person.
That's almost definitely not original, though, is it? It's like that's
Yeah, probably not.
yeah. Yeah.
Number 6 also comes from Olaf Falafel, the man who did the Oxo Cubes one.
Okay.
He says, I spent the whole morning building a time machine. So that's 4 hours of my life that I'm definitely getting back.
Okay.
Yeah.
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 Didn't laugh, but get it?
Yeah.
I did a little snort. I don't think it came through on Discord.
Okay, right.
It was all right.
Yeah.
It was all right.
Number 7 from Richard Pulsford, who says, I sent a food parcel to my first wife, FedEx.
That's kind of good.
It's a bit silly, isn't it?
it's a solid pun. But
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good wordplay.
The next one's from Tim Vine. We know that one.
Ooh.
Yeah.
He said, I used to live hand to mouth. Do you know what changed my life? Cutlery.
Oh, boo.
That's a groaner, that one. It's not even a groaner because you sort of laugh at groaners. But
Yeah. That's,
number 9 is from Sophie Duca, who says, don't knock threesomes. Having a threesome is like hiring an intern to do all the jobs you hate. It's all right. It's not really a joke. I mean, it is a joke,
Yeah,
but like, it just feels like almost like an actual observation, to be honest.
It's not really a punchline, to that one.
Yeah. And finally, number 10, which again, this might be the best joke of
This
the
is going to be the
Fringe,
best joke, Peter. It's got to be the best one.
Yeah, because all the others have been rubbish, so this must be it.
This has got to be it. It's got to be the good one.
Okay, Will Duggan, Vidiots Joke of the Year, Fringe 2022, says, I can't even be bothered to... Oh no, I fucked I fucked it up. He says, I can't even be bothered to be apathetic these days.
Oh no, that was Peter. That was bad too.
Yeah, it was. I must have... this must be wrong. This must be the wrong
This must
order.
be the wrong one. I think you got the wrong list.
Yeah, that must be the top 10 worst jokes of the Fringe.
Where are the good ones at? Huh?
I don't know. It might take them take the news outlets a little bit longer to come up with the 10 worst. I mean 10 best, because that was definitely the 10
best,
worst. That's a shame.
Wow.
I know. I think we say this every time. It's different being Reddit, like this, than it is being in a room of other happy.
What are you talking about, Mikey? What do you mean? What are you saying?
I think the delivery is identical to the intent.
Yeah.
I really want to at VidCon when we put on our own Vidiots convention, which is definitely happening one day, but we'll have a show where we read just back to back, non-stop, every top 10 jokes from the Fringe and see if we get any laughs. And that'd be the real gauge. But God, that was rough.
It was, wasn't it? I have just
Feels
found
like
an
that might
article.
have been one of the worst years so far.
Yeah, it probably has been. I have just found an article on Capital FM with the 10 worst jokes, but I'm trying to find... I just want to establish whether this is an old article. It doesn't have the year anywhere on there. The only hope I'll have is if any of the jokes cross over and someone's called one of these the worst and the best. No, I don't know. I can read... Oh no, these are all top 10... Oh, there's 4 best of the worst down at the bottom. I don't know if this is from this year, but I'll read 4 of these best of the worst, according to Capital FM. Tim Vine, Uncle Ben has died. No more Mr. Rice Guy.
That's one of the better ones I've heard.
It is, isn't it? And that's
It's at
labelled
least
best of
on
the
par.
worst.
Oh my God.
Card Ninja says, and this is a long one, and keep in mind I've not read these ahead of time, so if I stumble, it will go with it. Card Ninja says, I went to see this show, and the guy said, hey kid, do you like magic? And I said, yeah. So he asked if I wanted to see a trick, and I said, yeah. So he said, think of a number, times it by 2, and if it's odd... Oh no, He's a mathemagician.
Yeah.
No, I don't like that one.
No,
Yeah,
what? That's rubbish.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
earned its place there.
It's just a worse version of The Simpsons, where the guy literally says, "I'm a mathemagician." So, never mind. Tom Webb says, due to the economy, profiteroles will now be called deficiteroles.
Oh, fuck off.
That's great.
Terrible.
That's
Isn't
great.
it?
I hate that one.
No, that's good.
Profiteroles. Deficiteroles. I like it, I think.
Well, we found the title of the podcast episode, I suppose, but at what cost?
Yeah, and finally, from Paul Daniels, is he even still alive? This must be from previous year. I think Paul Daniels is dead.
Oh, no.
1922.
He said, I said to this fella, is there a B&Q in Henley? He said, no, there's an H, an E, an N, an L, and a Y.
No.
Oh, Paul, you card.
Rubbish. Stop.
I'm going to find out if Paul Daniels is dead, because he might not be, but I think he is. Yes, he is. He's dead.
When did he die?
2016.
So how the fuck is he on this list?
Well,
then?
Paul
Is
Daniels
this
is a
the
pretty
worst of
common
previous?
name. Maybe that's just comedian Paul Daniels.
Oh, okay.
True.
All right.
It could even be 2022. I don't know, but
Who knows?
thanks, Capital, for not putting a flipping date on your article. That's great. Got a final question here. It's from Victoria Machoni at Evil Blowfish on Twitter, who says, what have you spent way too much money on? Slightly inspired by Ben's Game Boy collection. For a minute, when I saw this question, I thought we'd done it before, but I think we've done it on Podiots, on Triple Jump After Dark, me and Ben, but I don't think we've done it on Podiots. Have you spent too much money on?
I'm looking around my room. I've got a lot of crap, but it's all cheap crap.
This PC that I'm recording this on is the single most expensive thing I've ever bought.
Is it? What about your car?
It's really close actually. Yeah, it's about the same.
That sort of says it all, doesn't it?
It does. This PC is an investment.
Yeah.
My God, it's going to pay off. But yeah, probably you're right. Probably my car. But my car was
That's a boring
fortunately
answer,
purchased
isn't
with. It is a boring answer, and also it was bought with dead relative money. And I say only. It was only £1,500. So it's not like a really expensive car. And I've also been driving it for like 8 years.
Yeah, you've got your money's worth. And it's not...
I definitely have.
It's not... You can buy an expensive... Like, I've just bought a house, right? So, but that's not... So that's the most expensive thing I've ever bought. And obviously I've not paid it off yet. It'll take me until I'm 60. But it's not like a silly... It's not too much money because it was valued correctly, if you see what I mean. So if there's something... It's more like... What have you... The Game Boys, for example, another person who's not into games might think, you've spent how much on Game Boys? You know what I mean? Whereas someone would not say that about a car necessarily.
No, they wouldn't. They wouldn't.
So what have I... I mean, I've bought bits and bobs of like gaming memorabilia that I probably shouldn't have done. I've bought Prima guides that were... I mean, not super expensive, but considering it's just an old tatty magazine, I've spent like sometimes 30, 40 quid on some rare ones. I know what I would spend silly money on if and when one is listed on eBay, and they only get listed every now and then. But the press kit for Spyro the Dragon 1 comes with this big... It's like a big cardboard treasure chest thing, and it's got like booklets in it with assets in there that you don't see anywhere else, and all this kind of stuff. So they go for... I mean, last time I saw one listed was a couple of years ago, and it was going for like 300 quid, and I would definitely... It would be more expensive now, I bet, and I would probably still actually pay that much for that. So that's a hypothetical one from me.
Yeah,
that's
a good one.
I'm going to start with a hypothetical one, because this has always been in my mind. It'd be really fun to own like a light gun arcade cabinet, I think that would be the most fun thing ever. But I think if I was going to choose like any game, it'd be like Point Blank. Okay. It's kind of like mini game one with loads of like little challenges and stuff rather than a linear story thing. I think like if I had even the room or the money, I would so do that. But in terms of actual money, I've thrown down the drain. A couple of years ago, I got like really back into Jackass and kind of like more than just the surface level of it, but more like the behind the scenes and how it came to be and all that. I find it really fascinating. Still do. I think it's wonderful. I love these idiots who hurt themselves for money.
Yeah,
great. So I realized I started looking around for some stuff on eBay, and I found a Jackass like 10-year anniversary book that they released. I think I paid £120 for it. Wow. It's like it's a collector's item. It's got a lovely gold foil cover, but like what is essentially a book full of men getting hurt and showing off the willies and waving them around. That's quite a steep purchase. And then obviously to go with that, I had to buy another book about the magazine that came before Jackass. I think again that was about a similar price. That book's called Shit.
Wow, that's great. So you spent £120 on Shit.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah,
excellent.
I got some joy out of them. It's good to have. It's an investment. I'm hoping one day they'll skyrocket in value, and I'll retire on that money. But for now, they sit on my shelves with all. I literally have so many shelves. Maybe actually my whole money pit is books in general. Because Jesus Christ, I've bought so many books over the years, thinking I'll get to this one day, and I think I must have about 60 now. I've never even opened. I just think that sounds interesting. I'm sure I'll read that eventually. One day I'll get the bug and start reading. Nope, not yet.
Yeah, I bought it's like a local interest book, like a local history book from where I grew up, and it was this first edition book that was written in like the late 1800s. It was really because it was never reprinted. It was like written by this local figure, and they did like one run of printing in literally pre-1900, and they're still floating around, but you can't get like a newer copy of it, and I really wanted a copy, and that was like 80-90 quid for this hardback book, that's a lot of money really for a single book on anything.
Tell me about it. Oh, me over here with my Jackass book. At least yours is respectable. This is just degenerate.
Well, it's all the same. I'd be interested in reading your Jackass book, Mikey. I'm sure it's worth every penny.
Well, you can come over one day. We'll eat ice cream and read our Jackass books.
Excellent.
Seems I should trade.
Yeah. Yeah, we should. Yeah. Great. Well, thank you everyone for listening. That's it.
Yes, that's all the questions. That's all the things. Thank you so much, everybody. If you want to potentially look at maybe buying some merchandise, I believe there's some kind of store. Is that right, Michael?
You're darn tootin'. Store.yogscast.com is the place you need to be if you're on the hunt for some wavy garms. If you head on over to that.
Some what?
Wavy garms. That's what
is that?
That's what the kids say. You know,
garments.
Do they?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe.
What's wavy mean in that context?
It's you can't describe wavy, Ben. It's a feeling. It's an experience.
Okay. If you don't know what wavy
by
means,
asking, am I not wavy?
Yeah.
But if you understand what wavy garms are, then you can, or not. If you want to attain wavy garms, the store's for everybody. Store.yogscast.com. There's a whole host of lovely, wonderful stuff on there from a variety of creators. But most importantly is our stuff. Look at it is beans time. Look at it. Isn't it beautiful? I'm looking at it. You can't look at it, but you could be looking at it if you bought it. So go buy it. And there's some lovely Podiots shirts on there. A fantastic Podiots mug. Mine's still broken. I really need to fix that or buy a new one. And some old classics, including our VS1 logo. Go get your sell on down, grab a bargain.
Go on, go get it. YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, all.com/Vidiots official. bit.ly/Vidiots official Discord. If you want to go say hello to people on our Discord, they're there. Go say hi. Twitch.tv/Vidiots official. We stream sometimes, not very often. I think we sort of roughly penciled in a date for a stream of all three of us together later in the year. But then I can't remember what that was, and I can't find it in my calendar, so I don't think we actually did decide on one in the end.
November at some point?
Did we specify a date? I can't remember whether we did.
I think we might have done, but I just
Oh yeah,
can't
I think we did
remember what
actually,
it was.
didn't we?
Anyway, we'll have a conversation about that after we stop recording. But soon, maybe, this half of the year, we will do one before Christmas, we promise. Yeah. Streamlabs.com/Podiots donations. £3 or more to get a shout out at the beginning and the end of the show and join Pod Squad. Once again, Mikey, can you take it from the top, please?
Mr. Blobby becomes a burglar. Mr. Blobby gets missile PPI. Weddy Feber Bix Lutz. Stephen scored as Bonald Scrumps come trumpet. Lord Brotovic at work. Katiekin solo. Michael Jugson. Oh, I've already forgotten how to say I'm in trouble tubs. I'm in trouble tubs. No, that's not it.
No.
I did the same thing again.
That's not the one.
I'm
Big
in
swing.
Trouble tubs.
This doesn't sound right. Okay, I'm not. No, I'm in trouble tubs. There you go. David Dickinson's meal deal. He was generous. Thank you very much. Worst game selection is a lie. And Dick Down by Dom Inder Bungholo. Thank you.
Also, Tiny Tory Knackercracker. Worst game selection is a lie. Caroline, it's Dr. Chegwin. Your husband was admitted to hospital after overdosing. He will need to committed to Anne. Asylum for his own safety. Come down to hospital to sign release form you're his power of attorney. Also, Mr. Macca, 2 pints of milk, who was very generous. Peter's Diet Beppis Penis, and Moogle 520805.
We also have Prince Beefcakes, Beef McQueef, Buff McQuirf, Finn Tristram, Caroline sucked off Mr. Blobby, Mr. Blobby's Gobby Knobjob, Glorious Minotaur Vulva, Big Titty Jesus 42, Podiots took my virginity, Caroline help I shat the bed, Silica, oh god, this is really hard. I keep thinking this says Silica reap is bedbugs. Silica repels bedbugs. Found Caroline's on OnlyFans. 6 stout men bearing an organ. Janet Wicks shags at Wicks, and your cunting daughter. There we are. Thank you, Pod Squad, for this week. Streamlabs.com/Podiots donations, £3 or more. We love you. Thank you. Peter, what's out on Vidiots this week?
We've got Worst Games Ever, Turning Point, Fall of Liberty, an explosive finale, Vanilla Minecraft episode 16, Vidiots live Twitch stream, Dark Souls Remastered #1. Oh, was that when Barbara was born?
That was Barbara's, but yeah, Barbara turned 4 this month. Yeah.
The Betrayal, Worms Revolution, Hunting Hat Films, Prop Hunt Part 1. Oh yeah, we played Prop Hunt with Hat Films, didn't we? That's nice. Podiots episode 14, Holes. Fortnite Sandwich Making Challenge. Oh dear.
Oh
my
no.
God. Michael spat sandwich everywhere.
I know. I rewatched that and I was like, oh no, why did I do that?
Post some tat number 29, Your Tat is Beautiful. Worst Games Ever, Fight Club. Draw the Fans #2. You Want a Blow Job, Prop Hunt Part 2. Post some tat number 30, This is a Heart Attack. Heroes in Training, Marvel Spider-Man Part 1. Worst Games Ever, 50 Cent Bulletproof. Is that should probably say Prove It, shouldn't it? Heroes in Training, Marvel Spider-Man Part 1. Doesn't actually say Prove It on it. It just says Learning How to...
Maybe we decided to drop it from the title
at
that point. We were trying all sorts, weren't we?
Yeah, just desperately.
Get some fucking views.
Yeah. Heroes in Training, Marvel Spider-Man Part 1, and actually that's the last one. I think I said 50 Cent Bulletproof, but that's for next time. So yeah, here we go. That's it.
Thank you, Peter.
Excellent. Thank you, Peter. Michael, where are you on the internet?
At Parrot Boy on Twitter is the place to find my doings and things. Head over there, you'll see. God, what even is on there? God, a lot of anti-Tory stuff right now because of recent election. But oh well. Hey, you see David Lynch vigorously shaking a camera. That's fun. Look at that. And I stream occasionally on Twitch as well. Parrot Boy, go check it out.
Wonderful. Peter, where are we on the internet?
We are at that Peter Austin and at confused_dude on Twitter. You can go and see probably anti-Tory stuff. No, I don't know. I don't think I've commented yet, but it's bad. I don't like her. And you can see us together with Ashton Matthews as well over on Team Triple Jump, at Team Triple Jump on social media, and also Team Triple Jump on YouTube and Twitch as well.
Yes, you can. And you should. Yeah. Why not leave a 5-star review on your platform of choice? It helps something to do with Al Gore's rhythms, and we'd really, really appreciate it. Do we have a final question before we bugger off?
What do you think? What do you think of the recent leadership election of the Conservative Party? Let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
I had a flipping Uber driver ask me that the other day, and I was like, no. I don't know. I mean, I know what I think, but I don't want to go there. Anyway, it turned out he was pro Boris Johnson and said, if it hadn't been for them parties, I think you did a good job when you were, got us through coronavirus. I was like, yeah, he didn't though, did he? The flipping scientists did.
Yeah.
Have you seen the price of coal?
Yeah.
Maybe what can we give Liz Truss in Vidiots universe name? We had Boppis Johnson. Must
We
be
did.
One for,
Yeah. Piss Truss.
Piss Truss. There you go.
Fucking hell.
Well, there you go. Beautiful. I like that.
There we go. Good stuff, everyone. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you on the next episode. Look after yourselves. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.